he deserves more credit.
Are we having fun yet?
Guys, I'm really starting to believe that DeMar DeRozan had way more of an impact on Dejounte Murray than even the Big Three did. Now, before we talk about that really quickly, if you guys want to support the channel, it's only $2 per month. I'll be doing a trivia prize this month, last Friday of the month, in which I will send out a link to Patreon and YouTube members for you guys to be able to compete for this Tim Duncan plaque. That is the monthly prize of this month. Monthly prize of this month. That is, that was a sentence. But if you guys want to support the channel even without, the prize, and you don't care about that, it's only $2 per month, and link in the description if you want to support. All right, so let's talk about this. Woo! This quote is amazing. Now, before we get into this quote in this article, this is a great article, by the way. Before we do that, I want to talk about DeMar DeRozan. Obviously, he is having an MVP caliber season. Some people have made the argument that, he's playing well because he left San Antonio, and no, we've actually helped him become a better player, and he's having the best season of his career, really. Honestly, I would say that, he should be an MVP this season. I don't think that there's anybody I will put above him. Obviously, that might not be the case with the age 32, but one thing that's not common is for anyone to really hit their prime at that age, and it seems as if he is hitting his prime, and there's even more to come. But overall, he is playing fabulous, and every time he opens his mouth, people want to know what he has to say. And I think that knowledge that he gained in San Antonio and being around that culture and being under Pop has really pushed him to another level, and he's become an even better player because of it. And that's a wonderful thing to see. Now, this is what I want to talk about. Obviously, we know how great DeMar DeRozan is, okay? Obviously, we love DeMar DeRozan, and obviously, it was for the betterment of the team if he left. It just is what it is. Now, with that being said, this quote right here from Dejounte Murray about DeMar DeRozan has really got me thinking. So this is what he had to say about DeMar DeRozan. He's low maintenance, and I say that with a lot of respect. For his caliber, the time he puts in this league, the success he's had in this league, the way he acts, you would think he's a young guy trying to earn everything in this league. And then it continues and it says, I don't ever want to be big-headed. And he says, I want to always have good people around me who are willing to push me and who aren't afraid to tell me what I need to know. So he doesn't want a lot of yes men. And that's great because a lot of NBA players have yes men, but he doesn't want that, and that's good. So overall, what do I think about this quote? Well, the reason why it got me thinking is because I think we give a lot of credit to Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili for Dejounte Murray's success as far as like role models that he's had. And yeah, I mean, sure, I think that that's fine. Obviously, they were champions, and Dejounte Murray himself have talked about the big three continuously throughout his career. He's also said that he's not the big three, and that's a lot to kind of live up to. So you got to kind of create your own path. He's actually said that, and I love those quotes from him. But I'm starting to believe that DeMar DeRozan is actually the player that Dejounte Murray needed the most. Because the more I think about it, the more I start to realize that DeMar DeRozan, honestly, he would have had more of a big brother, little brother impact on Dejounte Murray. Because he's 32 years of age. Dejounte Murray, mid-20s. They're close enough in age where you can kind of see that. But when it came to Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili, these guys completely established in the league. Not to say DeMar DeRozan wasn't, obviously. Look at all this history. Okay, he is. But when I say that they're already established, I mean they're established in the Spurs culture. They're established with the program. They're established in every single thing and every facet that Popovich would want out of you. And some people have made the excuse, which is probably a decent excuse, that a lot of the younger players that come to San Antonio might not be cool with the way that Popovich does things because it's more of an older generation type style. Now, obviously, that has not been the case. I don't agree with it, but it is an argument nonetheless. Now, if that's the argument you want to go with, if you really think about it, Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili, it's apparent that Dejounte Murray could have seen it that way as well. That, these guys, obviously he loves San Antonio, okay? So I'm not taking that away from him by any means. He loves San Antonio. But those guys, they are from a different generation. I mean, whether we want to see it that way or not. Now, Tony Parker, technically on a technical level, he's like way younger than the others. But the only reason is because he came in the league so young. But he is definitely, a vet of San Antonio. And they would have been with the program because they came from, you know, a stem from the 90s Tim Duncan era, right? To the point where it was already established with Timmy, and then that generation came in, and that ended up being obviously the older generation. So a lot of players maybe that come to San Antonio wouldn't potentially be cool with the program. But what did DeMar DeRozan do? DeMar DeRozan, when he got traded to the San Antonio Spurs, he immediately gravitated towards the culture. He didn't complain. He didn't trip about it. Obviously, Patty Mills helped him with that bridge, you know, for him to be implemented into Spurs culture in the Spurs way. But overall, he took it like a champ, and he was right there through really impressionable years of Dejounte Murray. And one thing I want to keep in mind too, just so you can kind of see, in my mind at least, that Dejounte Murray does not think the same way that our other players think or thought, is because he's still friends with Kawhi Leonard. Like, I'm not saying that the bridge was completely burned, and I don't buy into the narrative that they destroyed him in the media. They didn't. I don't think Tony Parker and Manu really did that. That's just how I saw it. I think it was a lot of frustration behind the scenes, and it came out a little bit, but I don't think they destroyed him like some people made it out to be. But with that being said, I highly doubt Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili have any good blood necessarily with Kawhi Leonard. They don't hang with, they don't talk to Kawhi. Come on, they probably don't. But Dejounte Murray does. Even with that whole situation and what happened, he still remained friends with him. And that might be because he was so early in his career at that point till it didn't hit him as hard as it hit the other generation. But overall, he was still friends with him. So we got to keep in mind that newer players, these newer guys, these younger guys, they think differently. And they have these type of relationships in the league that it doesn't really hit like the old school used to hit, right? Obviously, Tim Duncan was not cool with Dwight Howard. Like, they didn't like each other. I'm sorry. They did not like each other. But you don't see that a lot these days. There's not a lot of players that just hate each other. Even if you talk about Chris Paul and other players, everyone hates Chris Paul, okay? And he's young, he's older generation. So you got to keep that in mind. But overall, what I'm just trying to say is, I just say all that to say this. I really do believe that DeMar DeRozan coming to San Antonio has had more of an impact on Dejounte Murray than the big three did. Obviously, Timmy retired in 2016, but you know what I'm saying. He's around the locker room all the time. But overall, yes, DeMar DeRozan, he deserves way more credit. And I did not realize that really, or even thought about it until seeing this quote. Because really, if I read this quote and I told you, oh, this is from DeMar DeRozan talking about Murray, like, what would you say? Like, if I read it right now and I said he's low maintenance, and I say that with a lot of respect for his caliber, you should skip this part. The success he's had in the league, the way he acts, you would think he's a young guy trying to earn everything in this league. You could have potentially saw that as DeMar DeRozan saying that about Dejounte. And if I said this quote and I said this is DeMar DeRozan talking about himself, I don't ever want to be big-headed. I want to always have good people around me who are willing to push me and who aren't afraid to tell me what I need to know. Dude, this sounds like something DeMar DeRozan would say. Look, I just love this. I love the fact that DeMar DeRozan should win an MVP. And I love the fact that he's had this much of an impact on our San Antonio Spurs, and we probably didn't even think about it, right? So, pretty cool. Anyways, if you guys want to support the channel, as always, only $2 per month. Or, just subscribe, man. Just have fun with it. Comment. Do something. What are you doing? Why are you still watching the video? I'll get with you guys later. Until next time. Deuces. Hey, can I say something really quick? This like mid video, okay? I'm very unprofessional. I accidentally pressed the wrong thing. So you saw this. This is my video game screen. Yeah, I messed it up. I suck. I'll get with you guys later.